So welcome to the Creative Crypto Show. My name is Justin, your lovely host. We will be getting started here in just a second. We're going to talk crypto as soon as I get my screen shares figured out and the Zoom monster figured out. All right. So as always, we're going to talk some crypto. If you'd like to join this actual call, just click the link in the description above the Facebook live stream in the Creative Crypto group. And you can join the Zoom call. You can actually hop on with us, discuss, let us know your good news, ask me any questions you want. Or if you're watching in the group, that's cool too. Drop us a like, there's a comment, you can ask questions from there. If you're watching this on YouTube, it means you're not in the group yet, likely, or you're in the group and you're just watching it on YouTube for the fun of it. So either way, if you are watching this on YouTube and you'd like to join us in the group, go ahead and click the link. creativecrypto.group will take you there. Just tell them I sent you. Tell me that I sent you, because I'll be the one greeting you there whenever you get there. So anyway, welcome to the call. We are going to, so yesterday was the first little introduction to YouTube, because the intent was for that video to go onto YouTube. It actually did not happen. It will not happen for more than one reason. I'm not going to go into them because it doesn't matter. We're here again today. This video can go onto YouTube and we'll be just fine. So welcome to the call. We're going to discuss, like we do every day, the current state of the market. I've posted some news links into the group, so I'm going to just talk about some of those, answer any questions you guys have from the group or here on the call. And just give you some value for a few minutes in the crypto world, and then we'll go on about our day. So let's see what's going on. Let me share my screen. But before we do, as always, we're going to start with some good news. And so my personal good news for today is two things. I got gifts at my front door about an hour ago. I got a box of energy drinks and a box of, actually they came in the same box. No, two different boxes actually. One box is full of energy drinks. One box had these in it, which are Dream Drops. They're melatonin gummies, as my daughter calls them, night candy. They're yummy. They help her sleep really well. So, and I love them too. So I got both of those in. I'm not taking them both right now because that would be just kind of like throwing money away. One of them keeps me awake or wakes me up. One of them puts me to sleep. So, but however, that is my good news nonetheless. I love receiving gifts at my front door. My dog usually goes bananas whenever they drop the package off and ring the doorbell. Nonetheless, it's always an exciting time. It's kind of like Christmas every day. So that's my good news for today. Let's go ahead and I'm going to share screens and we will get into this. So you guys should be able to see my screen. Let me go into the Creative Crypto group where I am live, and let's just kind of check out some news. I'm going to open up the links, the recent news links, just so we can kind of discuss those. And then we'll go into the market at coinmarketcap.com. Let's see what is going on. Yesterday, the total market cap was right at 400 billion, which was kind of a milestone. It's been a while since we had been there. Today, we're at 425, so moving on up in the market cap, 425 billion. 24-hour volume is 29 billion, up from 22.5 yesterday. The Bitcoin dominance is 37.2. Yesterday was 37.8. So continuing to decline on the Bitcoin dominance during this little bull run that we're going on. Total number of cryptocurrencies yesterday listed on this site was 1584. Today we're at 1592. So we got a few more on the site. So that's kind of what's going on. If we look at the the front page here, you see a lot of green. Actually, it's a very, very green day again. Let's go to the 24-hour change. You'll see that the biggest loser is only down 5%. There's only 6 coins that are in the red at this moment. Vertasium, Bytom, Archain, Verge, Bitcoin Private, and Pundi X. So very green market today. If we look at the opposite side, the biggest winners again today is Mixin. This was a big gainer yesterday. It's number 56 coin. If you look into this, which I still have not, I did go to the website. There's one sentence on there, which is not very helpful. I have not taken the time to go into this and see what it is, what it does. All I know about it is that it is a T-powered BFT-DAG network. Oh, yeah, okay, one of those that connects all existing blockchains with unlimited throughput. All right, so if that makes a lot of sense to you, then, and you own this coin, congratulations, you're up 2 days in a row, kind of big. So let's go ahead and close this one out. Others that are winning big is Ethos up 21%. Ken is up 20%. Tron, those of you that have Tron. Hala, I own some Tron from way back. It's one of the first ones that I purchased, up 19.84%. EOS is up again, 16%. So a lot of double-digit green today in the market. OX is up, OneChain is up, Power Ledger is up double digits. Binance Coin is up almost 10%. Ethereum is up 9%. So by the way, just kind of FYI, the coins that I typically vocalize and point out, unless I otherwise say so, it's usually coins that I like or personally invested in. Now, I'm not giving investment advice whatsoever. Just kind of showing you what I do and then also helping you get more value out of these calls, knowing that if I point out specific coins, that likely means that I've studied them and or am interested / invested in them. So just FYI on that. Let's see what is going on in the news. So we posted a couple of things. So the first one is California takes the first step towards embracing blockchain with a new bill. I quoted part of the article here. The world around us is changing, and government must adapt with these rapidly evolving times. California needs to continue our legacy of taking on new and developing technologies, especially ones like blockchain, which is being embraced worldwide and presents a strong level of security that's resistant to hacking. All right, so this article is a very positive article. It's a very pro California getting on board. It's another state coming on board with the idea of blockchain and cryptocurrency, which is at the end of the day, nothing but good for those of us in the space. Winning out west, while Senator's bill is unique and targets specific functions within financial services, California would be joining other Western states that are also adopting blockchain technology. So this is not the first, this is kind of a catching on trend. So again, all good stuff, right? This is whenever you see, I like to post the states, the whole states and nations and governments and even banks and large players, when they get on board and they vocalize that opinion, that's usually an indicator of a direction that they're already moving, all right? So there's that is happening. Then we have Iran central bank bans domestic banks from cryptocurrency dealings, which is quite interesting. Let's see, what did I say about this one? Oh yeah, another quote from the article. Iran, meanwhile, has been actively exploring the development of its own blockchain-based state-issued cryptocurrency, following the likes of Venezuela's own oil-backed Petro, which we talked about before, as a means of circumvent economic sanctions. All right, so this is kind of it's a very telling sign, if you ask me. It's a very clear statement if you can kind of read the sentiment that's being made here. Iran's central bank bans domestic banks from cryptocurrency dealings. Says, hey, domestic banks, you can't fund any crypto deals. You can't do crypto stuff in any way. It's banned. Can't do it. And since we control you, that's our word. All right. So there's that. And then, meanwhile, what are they doing? The opposite of that, right? Which is not so surprising. Definitely not the first that a company or an entity would do such a thing. So on May 12th, U.S. President Donald Trump sees a deadline to either sign a prudential waiver on Iranian sanctions or formally withdraw from the U.S. from the Obama-era nuclear accord. Iran, meanwhile, has been actively exploring the development of its own blockchain-based state-issued cryptocurrency. So they're saying banks, you can't do it, yet they're doing it. So a little bit of hypocritical stuff going on. Here's another article from back in February supporting that. Iran backpedals on Bitcoin, plans to own its own state cryptocurrency. So this has been in the making for quite some time. They're just now coming out and saying, hey, you guys are becoming an issue doing your own things. It's looking like it's going to jeopardize what we're doing with our centrally owned state-owned stuff. So you can't do it for right now. All right, so that's kind of what's going on there and the gist of that article. And then the next one that we posted here, let's see my commentary on that. The world around us is, no, that's our word, read that. So I said, before you can release your own centralized cryptocurrency, you have to make the official announcement that you weighed all the options and believe it's in the best interest of the public. FedCoin coming soon. So let's just take a look at this article. What does it say? We welcome anonymous cryptocurrencies. U.S. Federal Reserve breaks down Bitcoin in a new study. So this is actually a rather in-depth article. It's kind of informative. It does go into like how they look at money, kinda. And I say kinda because this is how they tell us that they look at money. There are some other things that come into play. I won't get into them for this call because, well, multiple reasons. But anyway. Which category fits Bitcoin? They talk about that a little bit, saying, hey, here's the different categories that things like paper money and Bitcoin and gold and these different things kind of fit in. But where does cryptocurrency, where does Bitcoin fit in? So some interesting thoughts on this. They did go and point out the thoughts, the traits that are recognizable that Bitcoin does have before they move on to whether bank-issued virtual money even has a purpose at all. And so one of the things they said is the special feature of cryptocurrencies is that they combine the transactional advantage of virtual money with the systemic independence of decentralized transaction processing. Furthermore, as with gold, the creation of new Bitcoin units is competitive. Anyone can engage in the creation of new Bitcoin units by downloading the respective software and contributing to the system. So what they're telling us here is not anything new. They're kind of making a big deal about it, and this is them saying, hey, we're on board. We're just letting you know if you didn't already know by our other previous actions. This is them making the case and making, the educational attempt case at it. Nonetheless, it is there is some good information in this article. So it's kind of lengthy. Well, not too bad. But more so than most articles, it does go into a little bit more depth. So, naive to expect central bank cryptocurrencies. This is the interesting part. It makes little sense for central banks to issue cryptocurrencies, even though it would be straightforward from a technological point of view to do so. The research states that no reputable central bank has a high enough incentive to issue branded cryptocurrencies in case that currency were to become linked to a crime of some sort, unfairly associating the bank with the crime and damaging the bank's business. Once we remove the decentralized nature of the cryptocurrency, not much is left of it, as shown in Figure 1, virtual money that is centralized. So this, I'm not going to get off on my soapbox behind this, but my point is, you guys know my point. I stated it right here at the beginning. This is the official announcement. This is my takeaway from it. The official announcement it's another domino to fall. So even though this article says it doesn't make sense for a centralized cryptocurrency, I agree with a lot of the points. However, doesn't mean it's not going to happen. I guarantee you it's going to happen. There will be many centralized versions of a cryptocurrency, just like there's things like intranets in companies. You got the internet, and then at the beginning, like in the early days of the internet, the whole play was, okay, wow, this is too much. We got to confine some of that. Let's make our own internet and call it an intranet. And so it's the same type of things, but without access to the outside world. We control it. It's in our box. And so, I mean, don't get it twisted. No doubt there will be centralized versions of cryptocurrency. So anyway, just a few things that are going on in the world of cryptocurrency. One thing that I did want to just kind of, a point that I just wanted to get across, because I see a lot of and hear a lot of people talking down on projects that they're not involved with, or that they missed out on, or that they're, some of their friends they've seen invest in, or whatever, in the coin market. So the point that I really want to get across to everyone in the space is that all of these projects, when they win, whether you're invested in them or not, when they win, we all win in general. Because at the end of the day, mass adoption is what we all should be cheering for. Because mass adoption is what makes the statement that I make all the time: cryptocurrency as a whole is going to boom this year and next year and years following. And so mass adoption is a very big key to that happening. And so when these coins that you're not invested in explode, and you, for whatever reason, you don't like the guy behind them, or the spokesperson, or you think it's a scam or whatever, or you didn't invest in it and you missed the gains or whatever. Like, what good does it do to focus negative energy and time and attention on trying to diminish that particular coin? Let the mass adoption come, right? A great example of this recently is the Pornhub thing. It's a very weird thing. It was kind of backfired in terms of their big announcement that they thought would explode didn't really have the same effect. A lot of people were laughing. A lot of people were let down. They're like, wait, this is the big announcement. This is the big advertising partnership. Nonetheless, it's more adoption. So somebody's got to do that industry. Like, that industry's not going away. That industry is going to convert to cryptocurrency. Somebody's got to be the cryptocurrency. So whatever, right? It's mass adoption. Guess what? There's other uses for Verge than just paying for porn. So guess what? People that come in through the porn door and they buy Verge just to pay for their porn, guess what? Now they got some extra. Maybe they run out of time to look at porn, and they're in a situation where they can't be looking at porn, but they got some Verge in their wallet, and they see, oh, I can spend this Verge other places. Wow, that's cool. I didn't know that. Let me go do that. And they start experiencing additional benefits from that cryptocurrency, and that leads them into the world of cryptocurrency. So my point here is very simple. Cheer on mass adoption, because mass adoption is a big key for all of us. All right, it does no good. Don't be a hater. I mean, I guess you could, but what good does it do? It doesn't do any good. It's not really worth the time, energy, and effort, and it doesn't feel good. The emotions alone that come along with hating, the tension, the stress, the writing of the hating post or the making of the hating video, the emotions that come along with that effort alone make hating not worth it. So, and on top, it doesn't do any good. Where energy goes, or where focus goes, energy flows. So it doesn't do any good to hate. It just brings about more hate. It's telling, the universe, or, that's, hey, I like this feeling. So you get more of it. More stuff happens in your life that makes you feel those emotions and tensions and frustration. So why operate that way, right? Why focus on being a hater? When you can do doubly good, you can make your daily experience in this life better by focusing on positive stuff and forward thinking in the future, and the upside to the future, combined with doing so also makes the value of crypto go up as a whole. So mass adoption is good. Cheer on mass adoption. It's a win-win. Anytime a coin wins in any way, it's a win for crypto as a whole. Let's see, I got a few things that I could talk about, but we've been going for a few minutes now. I don't want to make these videos too long. What am I doing right now? Personally, still in accumulation phase. I will be for the next little while until my, my bags, so to speak, are full. meaning I have a few coins. I'm spread out among many coins, but I do have several coins, a handful of them, 2 hands full of them, that I really like, and I believe in their long-term value, but I don't have as much as I want to have of them yet. And so for those coins, I'm in accumulation mode. Most of those coins are like utility type tokens. The tokens such as, the ones that have a utility in the emerging industries that I'm somewhat interested in. So, and that I believe are, and that I'm somewhat involved in. So like BAT, for example, basic attention token. That one is, that particular one, they're targeting the advertising market, right? Like I'm a internet marketer. I do paid advertising online. So that one's a kind of this is a big deal. As a marketer in the future, we're not going to be paying Facebook to place ads on sites. We're going to be identifying who we want our information to get to, and we're going to be paying the person directly. And so think about this. As a user who's browsing the internet, there was talk in this Facebook hearing discussion recently of Facebook charging for it. Yes, they will have that as an option. They will likely have their own cryptocurrency, and they will adopt. But here's why that won't win. That model won't ultimately matter. Will people use it? Yes, of course. But that model won't ultimately win, because we're moving into a world where we can get paid, and we should get paid for our value that we put out to the world. We should all be paid for the stuff that we put on Facebook. We shouldn't be paying them. It's the opposite of what should happen. Right now it's free. Yes, great, thanks. But right now we should be paid. We should have been paid the entire time, but we're not. And so to go the opposite way and to say we should pay Facebook like that, that's not the game, right? And so coins like Basic Attention Token, they're going to bridge that gap and allow advertisers to pay directly to consumers. So guess what? We can get paid to watch ads. We can get paid to watch videos. We can get paid to create content. That's the future that we're moving in towards. And so those are utility type tokens. Those Basic Attention Token is offering, like they've got the Brave browser. It's one of the coins that I like. Again, not investment advice, just telling you what I do, showing you, talking about the ones that I like. So that's one that I like. I like other, utility type tokens. EOS is another one of my favorites. I like the ones that are platforms that allow other. It's kind of like investing in like the gold mine. The money that you hear the phrase in the gold rush, the money was made not from the people that found the gold, but from the ones selling the picks and the shovels and the axes. But the real big money was made. The next statement behind that is the money was made from the guys that owned the stores that the people selling the picks and shovels and axes from, right? Like owning those stores. And so that's like the platform that will allow other people to come on and use your platform to go out and do these, solve these real world problems. So I like investing in those type of tokens, and I've got several. So that's what I'm doing right now, just kind of accumulating during this phase. I believe that this it's looking like so far it could be a nice little bull run that we're going to go on. But as always, it could start going down tomorrow. I've told you guys, I would not be surprised if it got to, 1,000 Bitcoin, $1,000 or less. And that could happen in a very quick time frame. But at the end of the day, if it does, here's my mindset going forward, and I'll end it with this. At the end of the day, the bigger the dip, the bigger the pump to follow. That's my philosophy going forward, looking at these cryptos. So when I see these dips, like we just had a pretty large dip for Bitcoin, all right? So that's a pretty good pullback. And as a result, since the altcoins are kind of attached to Bitcoin still, and we've talked about this, that means a lot of altcoins took large dips. What's happening right now is the beginnings of a larger pump. So my mindset going forward is the bigger the dip, the bigger the pump to follow. I've watched it time and time again on a monthly basis, on a quarterly basis, on a daily and weekly basis as well. The bigger the dip, the bigger the pump usually. And so that's kind of my mindset going forward, just because I believe these coins like the world is ready for cryptocurrency. The world is ready for this, all right? They haven't always been, but they are now. And as more and more people awaken to the idea of it, I mean, the world, they're ready for it and don't even know that they exist yet. There's still those people out there. And so as the world wakes up to this and more adoption comes on, the value as a whole is going to rise. And so the world's ready. They're growing. That's like naturally, if there was no suppression, no people trying to hold coins down or suppress it so that they can make more of a buck or, you know, more money, or, you know, if there wasn't people working with regulation to try to, you know, get laws in place to ban and make it more difficult to buy and sell and hold and trade cryptos, and there wasn't tax laws that made things more difficult, and if there wasn't all this stuff, I think that we would see a very long and strong continuous upward trend for all of the coins that were legitimate projects. That's just what I believe. So I believe that that would be the case. But in any market, since the beginning of market manipulation, which was the beginning of the markets, basically, there's been manipulation, and that's what's happening now. Suppression. There's ways, like, you don't even have to be a whale to, and you know, with hundreds of millions of dollars or anything like that, to go in and really affect a lot of these altcoin markets. You can simply go in with a few $1,000s in some cases, and you can pump the price or dump the price, like with just a small transaction volume. And so it's all it takes to manipulate a little bit. As the markets are bigger and the liquidity grows, and, you know, there's more volume going in and out every day, then it takes a little bit more money. And then sometimes you get to the point where just a lot of money isn't enough, because there's a lot of other people that have a lot of money. So then that's when you got to start doing what? Coordinating the news, coordinating the, you know, pushing for the regulation, doing those type of things, coordinating the sales, you know, pooling money together. So it's always going to be around, but in general, the future is bright for crypto. So thank you guys so much. I'll go ahead and wrap up the show for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you are watching on YouTube for the first time, welcome. Thank you for being here. Come join us in the Facebook group, Creative Crypto. It's creativecrypto.tips is the name of the group on Facebook. You just click the link in the description of the YouTube video. I'm sure it's going to be around. So we will see you guys back tomorrow. I do these shows almost daily during the week. So we'll see you all tomorrow. Have an awesome day. And talk to you soon. Bye-bye.